Sopot is a Bulgarian town situated in the fertile sub-Balkan mountain valley of Karlovo, immediately below the steep southern slopes of the Troyan Balkan Mountain. Sopot is part of Plovdiv Province and is the administrative center of a municipality. It lies 2 kilometers west of Karlovo, 136 kilometers east of Sofia, 63 kilometers north of Plovdiv and 61 kilometers south of Troyan. It is the birthplace of arguably the best-known and most renowned Bulgarian novelist Ivan Vazov. Sopot is also a machine-building center. According to Konstantin Jiricek, the toponym is of Proto-Slavic origin, as indicated by the large number of identical place names all around the Slavic world. There is information about the locality dating back to the Ottoman rule. During the Bulgarian national revival, it was called Golden Sopot because of its flourishing development in the crafts and trade. The citizens of Sopot manufactured homespun braids, fur and leather of high quality and traded predominantly around the Ottoman Empire. During the struggle for liberation in 1877, the town was largely destroyed by fire and its population was slaughtered or expelled. The town was named Vazovgrad between 1950 and 1965, after which it obtained its present name again. The pioneering Bulgarian educator Nedelya Petkova began her career as a student at the monastery school of the Holy Presentation of the Blessed Virgin convent in Sopot. The population is almost exclusively Christian, mostly Eastern Orthodox but with some evangelical and Roman Catholic families. Religion. The population of Sopot professes mostly Eastern Orthodox Christianity. There are several families, Roman Catholics and Evangelicals. No Muslims. Sopot Monastery, St. Spas, or Sopot Monastery for Men, Vazneseni Gospodny, in which on December 7, 1858 Vasilevsky became a monk. The exact date of the occurrence of the monastery is not known. It is believed that it was founded in the 13th century. Most likely, St. Spas is the successor of the previous monastery in the Sopot area, St. Trinity, extinct about the 11th or 12th century. The St. Spas monastery was royal i.e., it was endowed with rights and property by Smilates of Bulgaria himself. These certificates were kept in the monastery until 1870. After that they were transmitted to Nadenjarov for publishing. During the Ottoman rule of Bulgaria, the church was burned and destroyed many times. After its restoration in 1870, it was painted by the artist George Dajev, a close friend of Vasilevsky. During the Russo-Turkish War, the church was destroyed again as only the altar survived, but the eyes of the saints were gouged by the bayonets of the Turks. The church and the fountain of the monastery were restored again in 1879 by Abbot Raphael, whose grave is now behind the altar. By the south wall the church can be seen a great bell cast in Craiova in 1873 and donated to the monastery by Sopot citizens living in Romania. Nunnery, Vavedeni Bogorodijno, dating from 1665, one of the 100 tourist sites of Bulgaria of the Bulgarian Tourist Union. The monastery church Blessed Virgin was built in the 15th century on the site of an old chapel. The monastery itself was founded in 1665 when living quarters were built around the temple. In the southern cell, on the second floor of the monastery, a primary school was housed. On the first floor of the monastery was located the cell of the abbess, Ristina. Her cell was the entrance to Vasilevsky's hideout. In 1877 the monastery and the town were burnt down and the abbess was brutally slaughtered by the Turks. For the monastery survived the temple, the hiding place of Vasilevsky, the fountain, part of the cells and the old vine, which is considered to be one of the oldest in Bulgaria and is over 350 years old. The monastery was rebuilt after the liberation of Bulgaria. Attractions. House Museum of Ivan Vazov. Ivan Vazov was born on July 9, 1850 in Sopot in the old house of his kind built in the 18th century by his grandfather. It was burned in July 1877 during the Russo-Turkish War. In 1920, the eve of the anniversary celebrations to commemorate the 70th anniversary and 50 years of literary activity of Vazov, among the poet's friends in Sofia, started the idea to restore his native home. The construction of the house began in 1931. The interior was designed under the leadership of Stefan Kustov, the director of the Ethnographic Museum in Sofia. It was based on information from the Vazov brothers and Vala Vazova Fetvadjieva. On June 6, 1935, the house was officially opened as a museum. In 1964, the House Museum Ivan Vazov in Sopot was declared a cultural monument with national importance. On the occasion of 120th birth anniversary of the poet, on July 8, 1970, opened the exposure to the life and creative time in his home, built next to the house building. The Rich Fund, which has the House Museum Ivan Vazov, recalls the most important periods in the life of the writer. His childhood in Sopot, where he completed his education. His work as assistant teacher in Karlovo with Bot.It, teaching in the diocese school in Plovdiv with Joachim Gruev. The exhibited manuscripts present his rich literary works created in 1876 to 1877, when he was a refugee in Romania and published his first poetry works. Sopot Crafts Center, Esnif. The Ethnographic and Craft Center, Sopot Esnif, is located in two Bulgarian Renaissance houses, Budnica House and House Zagabansky, in the center of the city, where the descendants of the old masters demonstrate and share their experience. It is managed by the Ivan Vazov Museum and the Association of the Sopot's Masters and Connoisseurs of Arts and Crafts. Visitors can review full thematic ethnographic collections, and observe the work of the local artisans, engraving, incrustation, weaving and more. Particularly original is the arrangement the living room in the urban style from the late 19th century. In the center of the Esnif there is a cozy shop for traditional crafts from the Sopot school. On the second floor there is an equipped workshop for young people who are interested to learn old crafts. Interest provokes the arrangement of a typical Sopot living room, replicating the style and lifestyle of the late 19th and early 20th century. Visitors can observe craftsmen at work and to learn about customs and traditions of Sopot. Honor. Sopot is Piedmont on Livingston Island in the South Shetland Islands, Antarctica, is named after Sopot.